Welcome to Yoga for Beginners. This is part 2 of an 8-part series. My name is 𝗕𝗏𝗚𝗏 from 𝗕𝗏𝗚𝗏healing.com. Welcome to you all. Such a wonderful opportunity for those of you who are joining me live and those of you who are watching this as a recording. Namaste to you all. So, for those of you who didn't make it to the first part, this is we're building on each class. So basically today's building on what we did on last Saturday at 10 a.m. EST. And basically, just in a nutshell, before you start getting tired and me kind of yapping away, you find a comfortable seat. I'm going to be talking for about 5 minutes, so if you want to sit upright and that's fine with you and your back, awesome. If you think that this is a little too much to hold, either lie down on the floor or find a chair, but definitely make sure that you are comfortable. All right, so basically, this is yoga fundamentals. We're really building from the ground up, and the idea is to help you go, whether you are a beginner, total beginner, or intermediate, or even experienced, is to go deeper into everything that we do in yoga. And unfortunately, in most group classes, teachers and instructors just go through things very fast. It's a big group, and you got to get the group moving, so we don't get to really discuss and highlight experience the yoga fundamentals. Last week, it was kind of an overview of yoga, the history of yoga, the why of yoga, the benefits of yoga. And we touched on a few things such as the combination of breath, movement, and meditation. And so today, we're going to be focusing a lot more on this element of combining meditation, which in our case is mindfulness meditation. There are different types of meditation. So we're going to be talking more about what mindfulness is with respect to yoga. Then breath work, which in yoga we call pranayama, which we talked about last week. And then movement. All right, so we're going to be introducing new movements. Last week we did very simple ones, seated, cats and cows, but today we're going to be doing a few more movements, but really focusing on the elements of mindfulness and pranayama breath work throughout. Often we think, I'm going to practice pranayama during the first minutes of class, and then I'm going to forget about that breath work the rest of the class. No, we really want to create the base, the fundament. The pillars are the mindfulness first, then the breath work, which actually come together, mindfulness and breath work, to then come into the movement. So there's one mantra, something that you're going to hear me say 1,000 times over: the breath leads and the body follows. So just kind of get that into your head: the breath leads and the body follows, because it truly is important in yoga. If we are not practicing asana yoga, the poses and the movements with the breath and the mindfulness, it becomes calisthenics, gymnastics, which is totally fine. It just isn't yoga. All right, so I'm going to mute you all to make sure that we don't get telephone ringing and stuff. All right, and let's get started. So I'm going to pause the music for a moment, because I want us to practice the sound of Om to help us enter into this mindfulness and breathwork state, pranayama. So close your eyes. As we explained last week, we want to sit in a way that our hips are as high or higher than your knees. We want to align ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, shoulders relaxed, face relaxed, neck is long and spacious, hands and arms heavy. We tune into the sensations of the legs, the contact with the floor. We ground ourselves like that, bringing our awareness downwards. And we also lengthen the spine, trying to lengthen the spine comfortably yet actively. All right, so a word or three about Om. Om is the universal sound, the sound of the universe. And Om can be broken down into four sounds: A, U, and then silence. And when we practice chanting Om, it has a magic-like effect on our being, our mental state, nervous state, everything, and it just centers us. It really brings us, it makes us super grounded. All right, so before we start talking about other stuff, let's practice this Aum meditation, which is also a chant. All right, so with your spines nice and long, inhale with me deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply, prepare to follow me. And we chant Aum. One more time. Inhale deeply. One last time. Inhale deeply. And just notice these sensations, subtle sensations, the effect on your mind, your body. It's very powerful. All right, open your eyes. So give me a thumbs up if you felt something transformative, like something change. Yes, awesome. So it's pretty amazing. It's like, how is it possible that this chant, can take us really far, can calm the mind, can make us feel so much? Well, chanting, singing, everything that makes reverberation in your chest, scientifically speaking, it stimulates the vagus nerve that runs along the spine to the very top of the neck. And so this vagus nerve is connected with a lot of bodily functions, digestion, sleep, hormonal activity. But basically, when we tone the vagus nerve, it calms the nervous system. So it helps us to lower down the heartbeat, the nervous system calms down, and when that happens, it calms the mind. No wonder people love to sing. People love to even talk. You could even think of when you're talking, you're massaging yourself internally. And because Om is so deep, and when we do it, we really open up the chest and the throat cavity, etc., there's even more sound reverberating and vibrating inside of you. So it's kind of calming in a way. And when people sing, it could be transformative, exhilarating, transformational. So that's why Om not only is the sound of the universe, and Om is found in every sound, but it also helps us to calm ourselves. And it can really take you. Buddhist monks, Hindu monks, they chant Om over and over again. They practice this repetition because it really helps them to transcend. It takes them to where we want to go, into this kind of dreamy place where we connect with our higher self. All right, so enough about Om. You felt it. You know now what it feels, how to practice that Om. Do it by yourself. You could even bring your hands onto your chest to feel that Om and feel the reverberation. If you go, Om, feel feel how much it's vibrating inside of you, and just know that that sound is a frequency. It vibrates and it calms the body, calms the heart, it calms the chest and the nervous system, like we just explained. All right, so why do we want to practice with mindfulness? In yoga, we say the energy goes where the mind goes. So if your mind is elsewhere, on one of these guys, or on like a daydreamy kind of situation, you're no longer living in yourself or in the present moment. Your mind has gone into kind of a movie situation. You're watching something else. So you're no longer really living your experience in this embodiment. Your mind has gone elsewhere. And when we practice yoga, we really want to be able to stay in the present, because yoga is all about connecting to ourselves, this union. We keep talking about union, this union of us to the rest. So if we're just focusing on something else, our self is not part of that equation. So that's why mindfulness is such an integral part of the yoga practice. So what is the difference between mindfulness and meditation? Well, in fact, mindfulness is a type of meditation. There are many types of meditations. All of them are transcendental. All of them help us to transform, let go of something, let go of the tightness in the body, or just a monkey mind, and help us to tune inwards and feel more. So in technical words, mindfulness is actually focused meditation. So what are we focused on? It could be a bunch of things, but typically we start with breathing. So we focus on the sensations of the breath as the air goes in through the nose, into the throat cavity, chest, lung, torso expands. Then you can also carry your mindfulness to other body parts, and we're touching the air on our hands, the contact of the legs on the floor. So we're really using the physical sensations. As we practice mindfulness, we're able to tap into slightly more subtle sensations. And in yoga, we really work with this thing we call the subtle body, which is energies that are difficult to explain. The more obvious ones would be like goosebumps, or feeling kind of energy flow. But then things can get a little bit more deeper and a little more esoteric, in fact, when you kind of start feeling like flows of energy moving around your body. And that's where this mindfulness comes to combine with pranayama breath work. So pranayama is often translated as breath work, but it's really about the energy. Prana means energy. So it can be breath, but it can be visualization. It can be many things, but typically we enter the practice of pranayama through the breath. And by doing different types of breath work or different types of breathing, we are able to calm the energy in the body, calm the prana. The prana sometimes is just moving erratically through the body when we're stressed, and through different kinds of breath works, we're able to rebalance the body. If we're too agitated, we're going to calm it. If we're too sleepy, we're going to bring it back to a more stable level. All right, so it's not always about, the yang, the fiery, or the yin, the calming. It depends on where you are. Typically in the morning, like for us right now, we're practicing here on the East Coast of USA. It's morning times on a Saturday. Chances are you're a little bit calm, or maybe even sleepy if you woke up not too long ago. So we've got like this very chill, sleepy energy, and pranayama is going to help us bring us back to the state of feeling a little more alive and energized without carrying us to the top. So we're going to start with just the mindfulness, and then we're going to start with the breath work and energy balancing. So for those of you who didn't make it to last week, just make sure that you are sitting on something that is allowing your hips to be higher than your knees. So many of us, this is our default sitting. Knees way higher than our hips because everything is tight. The back is tight, the hips are tight. So if that's the case, bring more props underneath you, another bolster, another cushion until your hips are at least as high as your knees, if possible, hips higher than the knees. All right, so this is the ideal way. When our hips are higher than the knees, we have a better lower back posture so that we avoid lower back pain. A lot of yoga beginners come with a series of spinal issues. If you're one of them, I am not kidding. Grab more stuff, more bolsters, more props until you look a little bit like me, either like this or like that. All right. If you want to know more about this, you can watch the first episode of the series. Let's all bring our hands onto our thighs, lengthen the spine. And we're going to start practicing just through normal breath. You don't have to change your breath. Can you start noticing the skin under your t-shirt or top, whatever you're wearing? As you breathe, can you start bringing your awareness into this area that you normally wouldn't connect to? So just breathe normally. Just notice those very subtle sensations as your chest, your torso inflates, deflates. On the back of the body, the area between the shoulder blades, very gentle contact with whatever fabric is on there. Notice if that creates like micro goosebumps even when you go down to that level of experiencing the sensations. Now bring your awareness to the chest. Again, whatever fabric you're wearing over your chest. As you breathe, can you notice that contact, that gentle contact rubbing between skin and clothes? Make sure your spine is still long. Back of the neck is long and spacious, comfortable, soft. Now bring your awareness to your fingertips, touching your legs, your knees. Gentle exchange of temperature between your fingertips and your legs. Now bring your awareness to your lips. Are they tight? Can you soften them? Maybe even part them gently, just a tiny bit, relaxing that jaw. We have so many nerve endings in our lips and mouth. When we focus our attention onto the lips, we notice temperature, maybe a super gentle breeze in the room. You might even notice more subtle sensations like blood flow or other sensations that you can't really explain or describe with words. So many nerve endings. The lips, the hands, those are the two main areas where we receive. We're picking up so much information. Bring your awareness now to your eyelids, your eyeballs inside the eye sockets. Are they engaged? Have you ever practiced disengaging your eyes? If you have, maybe this will be easy for you. If you haven't, notice it's a little challenging to disengage the eyes so that they're like totally heavy and relaxed. continue to explore our body into the sensations. This is our entry to mindfulness meditation, where we're constantly aware of what's happening. Our mind is entertained, and I highlight the word entertained because mind needs to be entertained. Otherwise, it drifts. The monkey mind comes to knock on your door, and then you're no longer here. You've gone elsewhere. So most mindfulness meditation classes start with the tip of the nose, the nostril. So let's go with that. We're going to start inhaling a little deeper, something we call 3-part inhale, 3-part exhale. So count with your mind's voice to 3. 1, 2, 3. Notice the sensations of the cool air entering your nose. And on the exhale, through the nose, 3, 2, 1. Notice the warmer air going through the nostril. Few more rounds like this. Can you find different sensations as the air travels through the cavity? Maybe the very tip of the nose feels one way, and then maybe like an inch in as it connects towards the throat, it feels slightly different. Maybe visualizing the inner lining of your nasal cavity. We can have fun. You become aware of the cadence, the rhythm of your breath. Now we extend our mindfulness, our focus towards the throat cavity. So we extend first through the tip of the nose into the nasal cavity, down to the throat cavity. What's the sensation, temperature of the breath as it reaches the throat? We exhale for 3, 2, and 1. Few rounds like this on your own, just with a total beginner's curious mind. Even if you've done this with me or with other teachers in the past, have fun. We all breathe. As long as you're alive, you're breathing. So bringing your awareness to this breath shouldn't be effortful. What's effortful is keeping your focus there. And like I'm seeing, some of you are rolling your necks. That's your body telling you, I need to move. So just become aware to the fact that sitting still right now maybe is not what your body needs. So if you need to roll your neck a few times, if you need to move anything, do it. Because otherwise your body's going to continue tapping on your door. Hey, I need to move. So move it and then come back. We have to listen to our needs. Sometimes sitting statically can be very challenging if you've got tension, built up energy in your body that needs to be released. All right, let's now bring our awareness to the full chest. We continue doing the 3-part inhale and exhale. Again, connecting the sensations through the nose, the throat, the chest, and now the t-shirt, the top, the skin. We're kind of expanding all the coverage of sensations. Adding more layers. The inner lining of the nose, the inner lining of the lungs, the sensation of the ribs around the torso expanding, and the t-shirt, the top that you're wearing. We add more layers. Continue like that, adding to the sensations on the skin of your arms and the fingertips touching your legs. It's a lot of information. Sometimes it's a little hard to connect to it all at the same time. We're just practicing, we're having fun. Don't take it too seriously. Now bring your awareness to the seat, to the bolsters or cushions or floor that you're sitting on, in addition to everything else, the breath, the t-shirt, the hips, the fingers, the hands. Now we extend our coverage, our mindfulness, our focus to the legs, the rest of the legs, the thighs, the knees, the sides of the calves, the ankles touching the floor, the soles of the feet, the sensations, the feelings, the temperature, the air. And we're going to hold like this, few breaths, just practicing, noticing how easy or not it is to maintain this full body scanning. The throat, the lips, the eyes, the skin, the joints, the muscles. So again, these obvious, or let's say the more common sensations on the skin, maybe listening, feeling your heartbeat, maybe even feeling chills, these gentle currents, especially in the fascia. We'll be talking about the fascia in a later episode. All right, so one more breath here, practicing this full body scan. All right, so again, this is a very experiential class workshop. You're gonna open your eyes and you can do any movements that your body feels like it needs to do. And this is a reminder that often before meditation, mindfulness meditation, when we're sitting still, we need to stretch, we need to move, especially if you just woke up. Your body needs that movement, that energy. Otherwise, you still feel like you're tight. And when you bring your awareness to your body, you're bringing your awareness to the tightness. So that's why you're constantly reminded, oh, David, don't hold me here for so long. Please let me move. So do whatever you need to do, just gentle movements to release any of that trapped energy or kind of dormant energy that needs to be reawakened. Follow your instinct. All right, so we've done mindfulness meditation. So imagine this meditation, this inner focused meditation. While we practice the movement, it becomes more challenging because as we evolve and we start doing asana or poses or transitions between poses that are physically challenging because requires a lot of muscles work or a lot of lengthening and stretching, and all of a sudden your body is really trying to get into the pose, we often disconnect from the mindfulness. So that's the challenge. The challenge is to stay focused, connecting to yourself, listening to yourself while you practice this or that asana. Most yogis, I can say, I dare to say, most practitioners, especially in yoga studios and gyms, they're just focusing on the calisthenics, on the physical side, without staying mindful and feeling. So in this course, we're really going slowly building up so that we learn how to then apply all of this to the rest, because we're building up. All right, so let's talk a little bit about pranayama. All right, so as we said last week, we have this central energy line that runs through the spine from the tailbone, perineal body, all the way up to the crown of the head. This is called Brahma Nadi. You don't have to remember that word in Sanskrit, but basically it's our central line of energy. Then there's other central lines of energies that crisscross. Actually don't crisscross, they just unite in the 7 chakras. So you can think of one central line, and then we've got the secondary main lines that start in the root chakra, and then they meet in the second chakra, then they meet in the third, fourth, and so on. And then you've got all these other channels. 72,000 were mapped by the yogis thousands of years ago. For us, we're just focusing today on this central line where this most of the vital energy, human energy, runs. So we're hoping to also feel a little bit of this energy. So we just said that we're a little bit on the sleepy mode because we've woken up recently. So let's try to energize ourselves and balance ourselves. Also, right and left hemispheres of the brain might be out of sync. So let's all lift our left hand. And we're going to bring it under our right armpit, lift the right hand, and bring it over under the left armpit. So the forearms are crisscrossed. Just fine-tune that so that it's comfortable and your shoulders are relaxed, your elbows are relaxed. So we're just going to breathe 3-part inhales and exhales. Close your eyes, lengthen that spine. And we start the body scan once again, but really focusing on that central line of energy. We call it energy, radiance, even electromagnetism that runs through that central line. And by placing our hands underneath our armpits, just around there, all that area in physical therapy, acupuncture, acupressure, even in some forms of massage, we know that there are nerve endings there that help calm the nervous system, and the nervous system calms the mind. So this is one way to bring yourself back to balance. The right and left hemispheres. We deeply inhale to 80% intensity. Don't make your breaths so deep that they are uncomfortable, but don't make them shallow. We're really trying to expand the chest, the ribs, the lungs, comfortably to the top of the breath, and then we exhale slowly through the nose. 3, 2, 1. The name of this pose, which is hand posture and meditation, is 𝗕𝗘𝗚𝗏𝗧asana. Relax the lips, lengthen the back of the neck, relax the shoulders. And so since we're all very calm because it's morning time, or not, maybe some of you are watching this at a later time, just notice this self-hug is also balancing. It kind of softens things. Whatever was edgy, it softens it. Because we're inhaling deeply and completely, it's also energizing. So inhales are typically more energizing and exhales are more typically calming. Inhales are yang, exhales are yin. Inhales tone the sympathetic nervous system. Exhales tone the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic side of the nervous system is the fight or flight. The parasympathetic is the heal, regenerate, calming side of the nervous system. We're going to lift whichever hand is on top and bring it down and around the other arm. So now crisscrossing the other way. Lengthen the spine, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And we continue to breathe deeply and completely, noticing the yin and the yang. As you inhale deeply, feel that re-energizing. And as we exhale, completely feel that healing, calming effect. Relax the face. Relax relax every muscle in the body that doesn't need to be engaged to hold you up like this. Alright, and slowly we bring the backs of our hands on our legs, and we're going to bring the thumb and index finger to touch. Yin Mudra. Why do we do this? Why do we see so many images of the Buddha, Lord Buddha, and other people meditating by doing this mudra? It's because we believe that as energy runs through the body, we can control in a good way, modulate how the energy runs. So when we touch our thumb and index finger, it allows the energy that descends down the arm into the palm, into the thumb, into the index finger, and then we create a loop so that it comes back up. So we're actually helping that regeneration of energy back and forth, down and up. So you don't have to press very hard between the thumb and the index finger, just enough to feel that exchange of energy, heat, radiance, electromagnetism between the thumb and the index finger. So only you know how much to press, but it should be subtle and comfortable. So just another example of pranayama. Mudras or hand gestures help us reconduct the energy, the same way that hands under the armpits, the same way as different types of breath work. So talking about breath work, let's practice another type of energy moving, balancing pranayama, which is breath of fire, 𝗕𝗘𝗚𝗏𝗏. So this, if you are pregnant, or you have some sort of issue that is not good to increase your heart rate, just sit this one out and just watch. We're going to be contracting the belly in on the exhale and allowing the belly and chest and lungs to inhale by itself, by releasing. All right, so we keep our hands and our spine as we just did. We're going to inhale deeply, exhale completely, inhale halfway, and then contract the abdomen, pull the abdomen in. Feel the abdominal muscles, abdominal wall doing the work. Keep your spine long, make sure you're not tilting forward, shoulders relaxed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And we stay in silence, body scanning, noticing the shifts that have just happened. Kapalabhati, breath of fire. When we're sleepy, lethargic, this is great to speed things up, our metabolism on a physical level, and our energy, the prana flow, the heartbeat, the heat in your body. It's heat building. All right, so maybe you felt something a little subtle like heat or something kind of traveling up the chest into the neck. We're gonna hold it for a few more seconds this time, all right? If this is exhausting, you can always stop. If something feels weird, you can always stop. All right, inhale deeply with me. Exhale completely. Inhale halfway. We're gonna pump 33 times at your own pace. Inhale. Whenever you've counted 33, you inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And breathe normally. Notice now the sensations. Mindfulness meditation. This kind of increases these sensations in the body, doesn't it? You also feel a little warmer, maybe a little more awake. You've been breathing faster, so that means more air, more oxygen, more use of your internal organs, your muscles. All right, last round, another 33. All right, so at your pace, inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Keep your spine long. Inhale halfway. And 33 times. And inhale whenever you're done. Exhale completely. This time, bring the backs of your hands on your laps, on your legs. Once again, chin mudra, thumb to index finger. Lengthen the spine and tune inwards. Noticing again those subtle sensations, especially with regards to the heat, to this sense of awakening. Kapalabhati, breath of fire. So just another exercise or example to show you how through these pranayama exercises we can change our state, our physical state, our mental state, even your biochemical and hormonal state. This was said by the ancient yogi gurus and now confirmed by science, modern science. All right, so these are more examples of how we can use our breath. So for those of you who already have a practice, and for those of you who don't have a yoga practice, remember, when you are practicing asana yoga and we're doing different kind of poses, when things get challenging, the first thing you will lose is the breath, and then secondly, your mindfulness. All right, so let's make sure that we keep building up, meaning whatever we do, tuning inwards, breathing. That's more important than how far, how long you can reach, you can stretch. This is the most important part. If you're doing this, you're already doing yoga. If you're just doing an amazing warrior two, but you're not breathing consciously and you're not aware of your body, you're not practicing yoga. All right, talking about moving, we are going to start moving. We did this movement last week, so it's a very easy movement where we swing our arms up and down with the movement of the breath and the awareness. So finding a long spine, inhale the arms on the count of 3, palms to touch, look up, reach up, ground your sit bones as you reach your hands up, gaze up, feel the stretch in the chest, the front of the neck. Exhale, bring the fingertips back down to the floor on the count of 3. So your body has done it once. Now make sure that we're breathing and we're feeling. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Body scanning throughout the body. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Continue like this on your own and start being curious. What new sensations can you feel? For example, your armpits. Can you feel your armpits as you do this? Are you breathing? Don't forget the breath. Inhale deeply. Can you feel the skin on your arms? Exhale completely. Few more rounds. If this is difficult for you because you've got shoulder issues, please modify. You can also bring your arms forward if sideways is a little jarring for your shoulder joints. You can also just reduce the movement, just smaller movements. You decide. Be creative. Don't have to follow me exactly. The goal here is to move and feel and breathe. Sounds simple, but it's not so easy, especially once your body starts to get tired. For some of us already, after these 4 or 5 movements, maybe your shoulders are getting tired. Are you still able to tune into the sensations of your body? Are you still able to breathe deeply, completely, and mindfully? So as we continue to move the arms, let's also become aware of the spine. So when you lift your arms up, there's a micro arching, and then as you bring your arms back down, it's just lengthening. So really focus on the spine as you lift the arms up, arching, micro back bend, exhale. Make sure your neck doesn't feel any pinching. It's not crunching the back of the neck. It's just about lifting the chin enough to feel a stretch in the chest and the throat muscles, the neck muscles. So I've been doing this for many years and I'm already feeling my shoulders talking to me. Are your shoulders talking to you? And as it starts to get a little challenging, because we've repeated this so many times, notice if you're still able to connect to your breath and to this mindfulness awareness of your entire body. Maybe, I'm guessing, it's becoming more challenging to hold that connection, that trifecta of breath, mindfulness, and movement. BMM, or if it's easier, MBM, movement, breath, mindfulness. All right, relax the arms. Again, bring your palms facing up, thumb and index finger to touch, lengthen the spine. Now bring your awareness to your shoulders, armpits, shoulder blades. Notice the sensation, how those muscles feel more radiant, more alive. How could you describe that sensation? Warm, spicy, whatever it is. Sometimes words are not enough to describe something. But that's not just the physical experience, but there's also an energy there. When we move muscles, we exert these muscles, there's more blood coming to them. So obviously they're being fed with warm blood, so you're feeling them warmer, but also as you move things, you're allowing yourself to release tension there just by bringing more heat to that area. All right, so there's pose and counter pose. We work something and then we stretch it. How are we gonna stretch these shoulders? I'm gonna turn around so that you see. We're gonna stretch the front of the shoulders. I'm turning around so you can see. We're gonna bring your hands behind your back, making 2 fists on the lower back. If this is fine for you, this is already a little tight, just make sure that your spine is long and spacious. Otherwise, we're going to start bringing our hands a tiny bit higher, just as long as it's comfortable. We don't have to be all the way up. This is like a gentler version of something we call reverse namaste, where we bring the palms of the hands together. So here is just the fists. Relax the shoulders, lengthen the spine, and now very slowly and gently bring your elbows forward any amount. Keep your shoulders down away from the ears and feel the stretch you're getting in the sides, front of the shoulders, as well as the shoulder blades. All that area is called the shoulder girdle because it has different elements. So it's not just about the shoulder joint and the muscles around it. It also involves the shoulder blade and the muscles around it. And body scanning, noticing how this stretch feels. Make sure you're not stretching so deeply that it feels painful. They should feel nice. They should feel good, like a release. Keep your back of the neck long and spacious. Make sure this doesn't feel like a back bend. Make sure you're not tilting forward either. Few more breaths here. Deep inhales. Count to 3. Inhale. Count to 3. Exhale. Only take it as far as it feels safe, as it feels good for you. Nothing that we do in yoga should feel painful or jarring. Always modulate. Always adapt to your condition, your body. All right, slowly release, slide the arms down. We're gonna do some shoulder rolls. So on the inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ears. On the exhale, we bring shoulders and shoulder blades back and then down, bottom of the exhale. On the next inhale, bringing arms and shoulders forward, and then up top of the breath, exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Few more times like this. Deep inhales. Can you do this? Again, MBM, mindfulness, breath, and movement. And not just feeling the shoulders and shoulder joints. Can you feel everything? The entire body, full body scanning. At the same time, you're doing your 3-part inhale, 3-part exhale. And equally, you are moving, finding that range that works for you. Observing any clicks and pops that you might feel. And we're gonna switch the direction. So next time, inhale, the shoulder blades back and up, top of the breath. Start exhaling, shoulders forward and down. Also notice if there's a difference between right and left. Typically, for most of us people who are righties, our right shoulder is gonna feel a little tighter. In my case, it's my left shoulder that I hear the clicks and the pops, but the right shoulder where I feel it's tightest. So just listen to your body, listen to yourself. All right, and we relax, release. We're gonna bring the chin down towards the chest. Neck is still long and spacious. So it's not droopy, the neck is still lengthening. It's just the chin is drawn forward and down. On the next inhale, bring right ear to right shoulder. On the next exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder, lifting the chin on the diagonal. Exhale, chin to chest. Few more rounds like this. Again, MBM, mindfulness, breath, and movement. Are you able to continue breathing deeply, completely? Equal inhales to exhales. Feeling the neck, feeling the body, noticing your range, making sure you're not going over the top, as well as being mindful of your movement, your alignment. At first, it feels like a lot of things to think about at the same time. After a while, when we practice like this, it becomes second nature. All right, the next time you bring your chin to chest, hold it there for a breath. And on the next inhale, lift the head, lift the arms up overhead. We call this a high prayer, palms to touch. Reach up, look up, exhale. We're going to twist towards the left. So one hand outside the thigh, the other one on the floor or block. Stack your vertebrae, lengthen the spine, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. On the exhale, pull the belly in and start twisting from the ribs, then the shoulders, then the neck. The arms are just there to support you, but the real twisting is coming from the upper body muscles twisting, especially the muscles between the ribs. Make sure you're twisting enough to feel it, but not so much that you can't breathe anymore. And make sure your spine is long so you're twisting from the axis of your spine. Are you breathing? Are you body scanning? Are you lengthening? Mindfulness, breath, and in this case there's no movement, we're just holding, but still very much aware. of the alignment required. On the next inhale, lift the arms up high, prayer. Reach up, look up, top of the breath. On the exhale, twist to the other side, hand outside the thigh, other behind you, stack the spine, top of the breath, relax the shoulders. Exhale, we start to twist, pull the belly in, the rib muscles twist, then the shoulders, then the neck muscles. Only enough to feel it without feeling exhausted or that you can't breathe anymore. This is great for digestion. This is great for detoxification of the body, but also to re-lubricate and stretch all the joints, the fascia, the muscles along the spine. As we said, the spine carries this highway of energy, so we want to keep it nice, young, lubricated, supple. On the next inhale, lift the arms up, high, prayer. On the next exhale, bring the prayer down. And if you are on a bolster, remove the bolster for now. And we're going to finish class with a forward fold. I'm going to go sideways so you can see exactly how I do this. So we're going to hinge forward, bring your hands on the floor in front of you with your bolster or cushion there. We're going to start folding forward any amount as long as your spine is long, feeling the stretch in the lower back. Try not to round your spine. It's not about bringing your forehead down yet. It's just about walking your hands, body scanning, breathing, MBM, mindfulness, breath, and movement, and then bringing your lower ribs and belly down as far as possible. And maybe this is as far as you go. If you're already able to bring your chest down, your forehead down, relax completely. If you are like most people, then you're going to need a bolster, and you can bring your elbows, so elbows under your shoulders, elbows on the prop. And then you can bring your hands together in prayer and bring your forehead on top so you can relax your neck. Or you can bring your bolster on the hot medium facet and just bring your forehead on it and relax your arms and shoulders. Or if you're really far away, you bring your bolster, your cushion on its highest facet. This could be the backrest of your sofa too. And just relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. So wherever you are, find that forward fold where you're feeling the stretch of the lower back, which is tight for so many of us. Find that which works, that doesn't require you to round your spine too much. Ideally, it stays nice and long. Wherever you are, whichever way you find to fold forward, we breathe, we feel, we lengthen. If there is one cue that is valid for every pose, is lengthen, spaciousness. Even if we're rounding, we want to lengthen. So make sure that there is lengthening engagement, even if it's very subtle. How can you lengthen your spine a little bit more? Few more breaths here. Deep inhales, complete exhales. And whenever you're ready, start to push yourself back up. Using your arms, your hands, slowly come back up. Finding your comfortable seat, sitting on your bolster, your cushion once again. Make sure your spine is nice and long, you're supported. Bring your hands together at heart center, and we finish class like we always do. Bowing the head down and being grateful, saying thank you to our bodies. Thank you to that energy, that force, the spirit, whatever it was that brought you to class today to practice with me, practice with yourself and the rest of you. We say namaste, which means the light in me bows to the light in you. My higher self bows to your higher self. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. Second part of Yoga for Beginners, where we're really explaining, going deeply. We're taking the time to understand, to feel all these fundamentals behind our yoga practice. If you have any questions, please open up your microphones. You can reach out to me. Contact at daviditohealing.com is my email. My website, obviously, daviditohealing.com. Please reach out. Let me know what you think. And of course, if you have friends and family who you think could benefit from this, by all means, please share this with them. Share my link so that they can join us. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend.